What if the simplest, most overlooked habit held the key to lasting happiness? What if, despite all the noise about chasing success, achieving more, and fixing what's wrong, the real breakthrough came from noticing what's already right? It sounds too easy, too ordinary, almost boring. And yet, modern psychology, ancient Stoic philosophy, and mindfulness traditions all point to one habit that can transform your experience of life: practicing gratitude daily. This small, deliberate act, when done with sincerity and consistency, rewires the brain, lifts your mood, deepens your relationships, and gives you a sense of peace that achievements alone can't provide. But how does it work, and why does something so simple have such a powerful impact? To understand the psychology of gratitude, you need to know how your brain is wired. The human brain evolved to scan for threats. This negativity bias helped our ancestors survive. By remembering danger more vividly than joy, they avoided it. But in modern life, this bias often causes us to focus on what's lacking, broken, or painful while barely noticing what's good. Gratitude interrupts that bias. When you make space each day to consciously reflect on what you appreciate, you're training your mind to notice the positive too. Neuroscientific studies show that practicing gratitude regularly increases activity in the brain's prefrontal cortex, the area associated with decision-making, empathy, and emotional regulation. It also strengthens connections in the reward system, releasing dopamine and serotonin, which are the feel-good neurotransmitters. In short, gratitude doesn't just feel nice, it changes your brain chemistry. But here's where it gets even more interesting. Stoic philosophers, writing over 2,000 years ago, arrived at this wisdom long before MRI machines existed. They taught that happiness doesn't come from getting what you want. It comes from wanting what you already have. Epictetus, a former slave turned teacher, urged people to wish for things to happen as they do happen, and your life will go smoothly. The Stoics practiced voluntary discomfort, skipping meals, sleeping on the floor, not to suffer, but to remind themselves that they already had enough. They understood that gratitude is a kind of mental armor. It protects you from envy, from dissatisfaction, from the endless craving that keeps so many people miserable even after they achieve everything they thought they wanted. Modern research backs this up. In a landmark study by Dr. Robert Emmons, participants who wrote down just 5 things they were grateful for each week reported significantly higher levels of well-being compared to those who wrote about hassles or neutral events. They exercised more, slept better, and even had stronger immune systems. Other studies have found that gratitude reduces symptoms of depression, increases optimism, and improves relationships. One reason for this is that gratitude shifts your attention from what's missing to what's meaningful. It reframes your reality without denying your struggles. You might still have challenges, but you're no longer consumed by them. Mindfulness deepens this effect. When you practice mindfulness, you become more aware of the present moment. You begin to notice small pleasures, the warmth of sunlight on your face, the taste of food, the sound of laughter. These moments often go unnoticed in the rush of daily life, but mindfulness slows you down just enough to see them, and gratitude locks them into memory. Together, mindfulness and gratitude create a powerful feedback loop. Mindfulness helps you recognize good moments. Gratitude helps you remember them. And the more you do both, the more you start to feel that life is not something to be endured or escaped, but something to be appreciated. It's worth noting that practicing gratitude doesn't mean ignoring pain. Life can be harsh. People face illness, loss, injustice, and disappointment. Stoicism never asked people to pretend everything was fine. In fact, the Stoics practiced a method called premeditatio malorum, imagining the worst-case scenario not to worry unnecessarily, but to prepare mentally and remind themselves that even in hardship, some things remain in their control: how they respond, how they interpret events, and what they choose to value. Gratitude fits perfectly into this mindset. Even in difficulty, there is always something to be thankful for. Your breath, your resilience, a kind word, the fact that you're still here, still capable of thought, still growing. Gratitude doesn't erase pain, it gives it context. In our hyper-connected, comparison-fueled world, it's easy to feel like you're falling behind. Social media feeds are full of people showcasing perfect lives, perfect bodies, perfect careers. This creates a mental trap. The more you compare, the more inadequate you feel. Gratitude is the antidote. When you anchor yourself in what's real, what you already have, it becomes harder to get pulled into the illusion that happiness lies somewhere else. You begin to see that enough is not an amount. It's a mindset. But how do you practice gratitude daily in a way that's genuine, not forced, repetitive, or superficial? The key is to go beyond vague statements like, "I'm grateful for my family," or "I'm thankful for my health." Be specific. What moment today brought you joy? What challenge taught you something? What part of your body helped you move, think, or breathe? Depth matters more than breadth. It's better to deeply appreciate one thing than to rattle off 10 without emotion. Some people keep a gratitude journal. Others practice mentally before bed. Some speak it aloud at the dinner table or silently reflect during a walk. There's no perfect method. What matters is consistency and sincerity. You might wonder, what if I don't feel grateful? What if life feels too overwhelming, too unfair? That's precisely when the practice becomes most powerful. Gratitude isn't a response to happiness. It's a creator of it. You don't wait to feel grateful. You choose to look for something, however small, that deserves your appreciation. Viktor Frankl, a Holocaust survivor and psychiatrist, observed that even in the horror of concentration camps, some prisoners found meaning and, yes, even gratitude in small acts of kindness, in memories, in the beauty of a sunset. His insight: everything can be taken from a person except one thing, the freedom to choose your attitude. Gratitude is that choice. Over time, this choice becomes second nature. The more you practice, the more natural it feels. And soon you start to notice that even ordinary days are filled with hidden blessings. A cup of tea, a friend's message, a moment of silence, a small accomplishment, a song that lifts your spirit. None of these are dramatic, but together they create a rich and satisfying life. Happiness stops being a distant goal. It becomes your baseline, your default setting, not because everything is perfect, but because you're finally seeing clearly. Practicing gratitude daily is not a soft, sentimental act. It's a radical shift in perspective. It's a disciplined decision to stop feeding the part of your brain that says, "not enough," and start strengthening the part that says, "look how far you've come." It's a quiet rebellion against the myth that you must have more to be more. And it's available to you right now. No special tools, no perfect conditions, no waiting. So the next time you feel restless, stuck, or unsatisfied, pause. Ask yourself, what have I overlooked today? What did I take for granted? What, if lost, would I desperately miss? Let that reflection open the door to gratitude. Let gratitude lead you back to yourself. And there, quietly, consistently, you may find that happiness isn't something you chase. It's something you've been living with all along. You just needed to notice. Happiness is not something you have to find far away. It's something you can create within yourself every single day. You don't need to wait for your life to be perfect or for everything to go exactly as planned to feel happy. You can start right now by choosing to notice the beauty around you, by being kind to yourself, and by letting go of the need to control everything. Life will always have challenges, but happiness isn't about avoiding them. It's about learning to carry light in your heart, even when things get dark. You have the strength to rise above negativity, to shift your focus from what's missing to what's meaningful, and to find peace in the present moment. When you stop comparing your journey to others and start honoring your own path, you'll realize how much there is to celebrate about who you are and how far you've come. Don't underestimate the power of small joys, a good conversation, a walk outside, a moment of silence, because those are the moments that build a truly joyful life. You deserve to feel happy, not because everything is perfect, but because you've made the brave choice to find light, hope, and gratitude in the life you have now. Thanks for watching, and don't forget to like, comment, and share this video if you found it insightful and helpful. And subscribe to this channel to continue discovering all the insightful and simple habits that awaken the happiness within. Also, turn on the bell notification so you're always the first to be notified whenever a new video is uploaded here. See you in our other videos.